Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel, Readings by Keisha. I am Keisha. By New York State law, I have to state that this is for entertainment purposes only. Take what you need, leave the rest, and that this reading does not replace medical, psychological, or legal advice. Virgo, this is a very interesting reading. It's very interesting. It's a strength-based reading. And I'm going to get into that. I asked before I pulled the cards, I said, Spirit, what is the message, the theme for Virgo? And I heard subliminal entrapment. And I said, what do you mean subliminal entrapment? They said subliminal entrapment that started in childhood. And the first card that flipped out was the Hangman in reverse. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is about to get spicy, because not only did you say subliminal entrapment and from childhood, the Hangman is someone who is taking a break from the chaos of the world and going within and trying to figure out like either their destiny, purpose, next step, who they dealing with, what they dealing with, right? But your Hangman is in reverse. That's avoidance and immobility. So when Spirit says subliminal entrapment from childhood, you guys are avoiding some things that went on in childhood, and it's still playing out. So Virgo, what I got for some of you guys from the beginning was, you need to see people for who they are, what they did to you, what they did to others around you. They showed up and showed out who they were. Yet you still engage with them. You still engage with the mess. Virgo, Spirit said you need to stop being a bystander of toxicity. You are a bystander for some of y'all of toxicity. Or for some of y'all, you were in toxic childhood situations and other people were the bystander. But you have to ask yourself, those other people that were a bystander, did they grow up in that same toxicity as you, and were they being manipulated? Were they being manipulated, shunned, and suppressed as you? And Spirit wants you to call judgment out on those people. This is a two-way street, this judgment. Spirit is calling judgment on them, but Spirit is like, you need to call judgment as well. So we can move forward and do what we need to do. You need to do what you need to do so we can do what we need to do. Otherwise, we're going to do what we need to do, and you're going to get even more, trumped up, because you have it in your hand to say something, do something, or you, Virgo, are being the bystander in some type of situation against someone else, and judgment might get called on you, Virgo. But either way, addressing it and calling it out, you got the Sun followed by that. Meaning that release is going to make you feel better. That release is going to help other people around you who were in that chaos, that toxicity right around you. Because sometimes people forget about the other people who were in the toxic mess. And when I say toxic mess, it could be toxic circle, toxic family, toxic workplace, right? Sometimes when we are a victim, we forget about other people around us and that there was other victims around us because we're so focused on ourselves. And so addressing this releases it. And then here comes an opportunity. Here comes a situation where you have to make a choice, Virgo. And I want to clarify, Spirit, on that card. You got to make a choice. You got to open the door for healing. Point out their toxic nature. Right? Some of you guys, you got a business. And you want the business to grow, but you are acting as if the business is not the light of God. And like, the business is not the light of God. I said, Spirit, what you mean the business is not the light of God? And they said, does the business promote some form of toxicity? And if your business supports some form of toxicity, then you got to go back to the drawing board. Because when you make the right choice, yeah, you got to cut some folks off. When you make the right choice, okay, because, so I asked for clarity because after making, you got a choice, a decision to make about how you're going to move forward once you address this toxicity or once you stop being a bystander, or when you address the bystander effect. It's followed by the Ace of Cards in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. And I was like, is Virgo going to make a bad decision? Clarify. And then you got Ace of Swords upright from my other deck. So they're like, yeah, based on the decision that Virgo makes, Virgo gets that Nine of Pentacles energy. Virgo will get the next step on how to grow or strengthen the business. Because what they're saying is sometimes people start businesses based off of, you know, what they do, what they like, and brings them passion. But how is it helping others? Is it something that God would be grateful, or not grateful, but is that something God would appreciate and bless further? Because does the business promote some form of toxicity again? Is it just fulfillment for yourself? If it's just fulfillment for yourself, you might not get as far as you want. But if you address it and refine it and fine tune it, and here's a cup. So for some of you guys, and there's grapes. Okay, some of you guys may have a beverage business. Does the beverage have too much sugar in it? Does the beverage promote some type? And then there's water in the background. Child, this is food and beverage business for some of y'all. Food and beverage business. Some of you guys might actually completely walk away from your business. Go in a new light, go in a new direction. Some of you guys also are walking away from a relationship because of someone's addiction and someone stepped out. You got Three of Swords here too. Y'all got Three of Swords. But again, for some of you, sorry, you're in a relationship. Ooh, are y'all smoking? Some of y'all might be smoking because I'm coughing and I shouldn't be coughing. Okay, so some of you guys may be smoking something you shouldn't be smoking, or whatever you're smoking, or maybe your business is, cigarettes, and we all know what cigarettes cause. Or this is you're drinking and you're smoking and whatnot, and it's getting in, it's affecting your business. So you guys could be drinking and smoking yourselves, or maybe your co-founders of your business are getting high off the supply, if y'all understand what I mean. I had a business partner. I was in a partnership with somebody, where I would supply my cakes to his store, and he would eat half the supply. And, I didn't mind because I'm like, I'm still getting paid. But I'm like, bro, we're not supposed to get high off the supply. That's product. And, again, didn't mind because I was getting paid. But then now it's messing with imprint. And what I mean by imprint is if I supply you with 50 cupcakes and you eat 25, and we sell 25, we're missing out on 25 possibly new additional customers that would have tried that cupcake. You see what I'm saying? So like, people don't realize that when you get off on your own supply, you're missing out on customers. You're eating your customers. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, is what it is. But for some of you guys, you need to pull on your strength, but you also have a Leo, and you guys got Leo a couple of times. So maybe, Virgo, you have a Leo in your life that you can trust or you can't trust. So for some of you guys, you're going to have a Leo that you can trust and a Leo that you can't trust. And you know who it is. You know who it is. Whoever came to you when I said that, that's who it is. They might not want to see you move forward too. They might be afraid that you actually, Virgo, might do better than them. They're concerned about that. But in any event, Virgo, you make the right choice. You make the right decision. You're going to be sitting pretty, Virgo. You're going to move off into success. But again, they said to say, you need to see people for who they are, what they did to you, what they did to others around you, meaning you are not the only victim. They showed up and showed out, yet you are still engaging with their mess. And you need to stop being a bystander of toxicity, Virgo. Let me see what's y'all closing messages for Virgo. Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms. Addiction. Addiction came up, Virgo. Addiction. They want you to release the addictions. Release the addictions. You are going to feel so much better when you release the addictions, Virgo. Whatever the addiction is. Everybody has different addictions. You know, some people, you got alcohol addiction, sugar addiction, food addiction, sex addiction. And, you know, these things are all good, but in moderation. And there's something you're overdoing. Maybe you have an addiction of being a bystander. Maybe you have an addiction of being a bystander and watching how other people get torn apart that you know are completely opposite of what people are saying. The courageous peony. Let yourself be seen, multifaceted. They want you to be courageous. They just said you see people for who they are. Stop engaging in the bystander effort. And then you got the courageous card. To step up to people and put them in their place about the toxic stuff of the past or even present or even, you know, whatever. That takes courage, Virgo. That's not an easy feat. Okay, Virgo? That is not easy to being courageous. But the divine, which is all that matters, would appreciate you being courageous. Get out of your ego. Okay? Surrender. Fall into my arms. Holding the opposites extreme of life. Let's check that out for you, Virgo. That's a beautiful card. But all these cards is beautiful, but this. Fall into my arms. You are being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experiences. That subliminal entrapment that could probably have started in childhood, that is the lows of the human experience. To let them initiate you more fully into life. The agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. The life is but a single breath in the next extinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubt. To lay them at her altar. To fall fully into her arms. To remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've truly lived. Being a bystander is not truly living. Being a bystander and engaging in, things that is not of God against other people, that's not living life, Virgo. Addictions is not living life. There's nothing positive about it except you're going to learn, except the lesson that's going to come out of it for you, right? And so, Virgo, this was your reading for the month of March 2023. I hope this was helpful. And please comment, share, or subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And I will see you guys in April.